Hockey with a great series over the weekend against New Hampshire College. After the two clubs battled to a tie in the first game of the weekend on Friday night, the Ice Knights an 8-5 winner on Saturday night at the Essex rink to claim the NCAA Division II National Championships. St. Mike's getting on the board a pair of first period goals, one from Jeff Rooks at 18:22, one from Andy Weglos at 19 minutes. They up their lead to 3-0 in the second period before the New Hampshire College Cubs battled back with a couple of goals to cut it to 3-2. But St. Mike's getting goals from Jason Harrington midway in the second period, and big ones from Harrington and James Burr in the third to open up a 6-3 lead, and they go on to win it by a final score of 8-5. So St. Mike's, congratulations. We'll have more with them a little later on. The St. Mike's, the 1999 NCAA Division II National Champions. Meanwhile, the Division III tournament reaching the quarterfinal round.
Chris, you brought along a little trinket to show us today.
Yes, I did.
Significant of the NCAA Division II Championship. Guys, you had to feel pretty great about the whole process of this year and Saturday night.
Oh, I'd say without a doubt. I mean, thinking about it before the beginning of the year, everybody in probably the whole state of Vermont was counting us out because we lost. From last year, we lost 11 guys, pretty much considered superstars, and this year we weren't expected to do much, and we could bring home a national championship. I mean, you can't get any better than that.
Mike, what happened this year to do that? Did you think the players used some of the motivation of everybody underselling you a little bit to be able to reach the state?
I definitely think so. I think that there was definitely a lot of hidden talent. I think the players knew it, the coaches knew it, but you know, last year, like Chris said, we had the superstars. You know, the players that were hidden just didn't get the time or the experience. And you know, once that happened, everything jumped to a good start.
Yeah, when you talk about players like that, they were supporting players, many of them last year, and both of you to a degree have that. There's a jump to make from supporting player to a lead player. What's the psychological effect of that, Steve? Chris, how do you have to go about that?
Well, if you consider most of the guys that were in the shadows of the guys last year, and teams that they played for before college, they were probably in the same ranks that the guys were that we lost last year. So they just have to go back to where they were in high school, pick up, you know, their psychological aspect and bring it to this year. I mean, it's definitely a tough jump, because you're in two different levels, but I mean, most of the guys have been there before, so they just got to.
But if you were talking before the season, was this a realistic goal? I mean, did you really think you could win a national championship at that point, or was that pretty much out of mind?
To be honest with you, my whole thought of everything was just to work hard and to see what happens. I mean, I know we had a lot of talent, but just mixing it in and making it right.
Personally, I mean, it's a major goal on everybody's goal list, but you know, our reality was just make the playoffs and see where it goes from there. But again, this is just a pleasant surprise.
Turning point in the season, when did you guys really begin to feel this could be a special year?
I would say when it first came out, the first time we heard the national rankings, that we were on #2, and then once we, you know, and then when we went head-to-head with New Hampshire,
right,
it just brought it to our attention that, you know, this is going to be our year. You know, there's no stopping us.
Great series on the weekend. Anything Saturday night? I understand it was a pretty rough game out there. A lot of very hotly contested.
Very. There was a lot of penalties given out. You know, I think it was just the intensity. I think both teams wanted it, and you know, we came through with it.
Guys, just a tremendous season for you. It's going to be something for both of you to take away from St. Mike's, a program that didn't have to fall off this year, and you certainly proved it. Congratulations on a tremendous season.
Thank you very much.
Joining Joining us now on Hockey Talk are the coaches of the national champion St. Michael's College hockey team, Director of Hockey Operations Steve Mattson, and Head Coach Lou DiMasi. And fellas, what does it feel like right now?
Great, great, great. Just a tremendous feeling. Very proud of our players, very proud to be from St. Mike's, and very proud to hold the trophy.
Mike, Steve, when you're at the end of the game last night, the other night, you're sitting there and it's the clock's counting down. What's the emotion like out there?
Pretty high. I mean, it was just a sense of relief to get the thing done.
Yeah.
A lot of stress.
Now, it's been kind of a surprise season. Now, although, Steve, you said right at the beginning of the year you thought this could be a surprise team, but were you expecting this much of a surprise?
Well, I thought we'd fare well league-wise because I felt that the league was watered down, taking what was left of the North, South, Central and creating the Northeast. So I thought we would fare well in our league. And with regards to the national championship, again, it was circumstantial. The field had been limited down to 5, but St. Anselm's would be a team that you would expect would be a great hurdle to get by, and for whatever reason they didn't have too great a season to get in that ranking. So circumstantially things just fell into place and the team stepped up and did well. So.
Lou, how do you bring the kids back emotionally from the ECAC Northeast Championships and then get them prepared for the NCAA Championships? Did you have to work on it? Were they pretty much self-motivated?
I think I'd have to come down to our leadership this year. I would say self-motivated. We had a great group of leaders who really looked to prove themselves. You know, two of the gentlemen that were here or are here today, Chris Davidson, Mike Macdonald, Darren Beers, great leadership from our goaltender, Nick Dion. When we hit the quarterfinals and had a home berth, great accomplishment there. Number two, we went to the semifinals, great accomplishment there. Stepped back, took a breather, and then just set our goals. And we had just a tremendous weekend of hockey, great support from the local community. We couldn't be more happier and prouder of our student athletes at St. Mike's.
A year ago, you got to the championship game of the old North-South Central, which was the high point for St. Mike's hockey. You've come back this year. You've won a national championship. What's the encore?
Disneyland? No, I think right now we just sit and enjoy where we are, but we all know that many of the kids, many of our students left the rink knowing that we've got some goals to set for next year. And many walked away with tremendous awards from the NCAA, but you know, we know that we've got some great building blocks in place with this year's class to carry this, and we've got lots of work to go.
Now what happens, this is the last of the NCAA Division II championships. How does St. Michael's hockey figure in postseason play after this? Is there going to be any concessions made?
Well, what they're debating now is the issue as to if the ECAC, because the 5 Division II teams fall into the ECAC, if the ECAC will provide a tournament for those teams for postseason play. Because if, in fact, next year the NCAA gives an automatic bid to the winner of the Northeast, then we would not be allowed to play postseason play there because we're a Division II team,
right,
as are the other 3.
Well, we should explain something, Lou. You're Division II because of another determining sport within your school.
Right, our basketball program receives scholarships, men's and women, so therefore we're a Division II institution, and we'll stay that way. Now we need to find the best fit for our hockey program.
Last thoughts, guys, on the season. Steve?
Tremendous.
Lou?
Well, very grateful, very satisfied. It's a great day for St. Mike's hockey.
Gentlemen, congratulations on just a spectacular end to a very good season. And we'll hope to see you back here next year, maybe with another championship of some sort.
Thanks very much. Thanks for all the support from you as well as Adelphia.